Hi, my name is Sarah and I work in the publications section of the racing department in Horse Racing Ireland. There's currently 4 of us working in the publications team, and our core responsibilities are the publication of the Irish Racing Calendar and Form Book, as well as the weekly calendar supplement. We also send race day information to the press, our press contacts, race day officials and the race card printers. When we get the race cards back from the printers, we proof those race cards to ensure that all of the information is correct in the race card for race day. We also update and verify Irish race results to ensure that the results are correct, as they'll determine the payment of prize money to the relevant connections of the winners. As I mentioned, one of our core responsibilities is the publication of the Irish Racing Calendar. So we publish this on a weekly basis, and we would receive files from various sources such as France Gallo, BHA, the IHRB, and also from our in-house programmes team. So we compile these files to produce the Irish Racing Calendar, and a large part of the Irish Racing Calendar is the advanced programmes, and these are used by the trainers to look at upcoming races in the following month, and they'll select a race that would be suitable for their owner's horses. As well as the racing calendar, we publish the weekly calendar supplement, and this would detail multiple ownership types such as partnerships, syndicates, leases and clubs and companies. So another task of the publications team is to send the race day information to our press contacts and the race day officials and the race card printers. So there's multiple deadlines every day for declarations, weights, entries and rider bookings. So when this information is available and finalised, we would send this to the press contacts and also race day officials and the race card printers for publication of the race cards. So for example, at entry stage, when that information is sent to our press contacts like the Racing Post or Irish Racing Services, owners would be able to log on to their websites and see their horses entered up in the relevant races on those websites. Also, like at declaration stage, we would send the AIR listings to the race courses, and they would list all of the owners that would have runners on race day. So this would be linked in with their AIR cards and their access to the track on race day. So one of the other big tasks for the publications team is the proofing of race cards for every Irish race course in Ireland. So we do this on a daily basis. When the entries are finalised, we would send the race conditions and all of the horses' details to the race card printers that are looking after the race card. They would send us back a printer's proof, which we would check for all of the race details, for example, the race off times, the race titles, sponsors' details, race conditions, distances, and also we check each horse's information for their owner, their colours and their breeder. If we were missing any information at this stage, our registrations team would look into it for us and get us that information, just to make sure that all of the details are right for race day. At declaration stage then, we would get a final race proof from our ensign declarations team, and this would be cross-checked against the printer's proof, just in case of any changes in between entry stage and declaration stage. Like often we would have a change in order of running, or we could have a horse's ownership change between entry stage and declaration stage. So if this was the case, we would obviously need new owner details and new colour details. And also, in a lot of races, there might be owners that have multiple horses running, and it would be the trainer's responsibility to declare a second set of colours, or if they had more than 2 horses, a distinguishable cap. And that would be for the purposes of the judge on race day, so they can identify the different runners, and also for the commentator and the viewing public. So once we have cross-checked all of the race card details, the race cards will be finalised with the printer and then ready for printing to be distributed to the race courses the following day. We look after the updating of Irish race results. So the day after racing, we would receive documentation back from both the racecourse officials and also the photo finish team from race day. So we would receive documentation back from, for example, the clerk of the course, the clerk of the scales, the judge and the starter. And also the photo finish team would feed information and results back through our racing administration system. So every day we would cross-check the photo finish results and the officials' results just to double check that the results are correct. And once we are sure that these are correct, we would verify this information, and then that would determine the payment of prize money to the relevant connections. So one of the other publications that we look after and that we publish on a weekly basis is the Irish Form Book. So this is a compilation of all race results from the previous week's racing, and the race results are joined together with the comments on running and also the tote and bookmaker betting and any race day reports from the jockey or inquiries on race day. And this forms the form book publication. Now, a lot of that information is available on websites today, but it is a very important historical document, and you can probably see behind me we have a number of form books in the HRI archive dating back to the 1800s. And we would have members of the public contacting us looking for information on maybe ancestors that would have owned or ridden or trained a horse, so we can come up to the archive here and take out that form book and give them that information, whereas it might not always be available in 100 years' time online. So it is an important documentation and publication, and we publish that each week.